What about this time under that leadership? When Roy Keane flexes his bicep. Well, changes in the Manchester United side were pre-advertised by their manager, who has offered both Cristiano Ronaldo and Gabriel Ince a mid-season break. They are replaced respectively in an otherwise unaltered team by Darren Fletcher. Team news now for Crystal Palace. The big Uruguayan centre-half Gonzalo Sorondo, who hobbled prematurely out of his full Premier League debut against Arsenal early last month. Fourth from top doesn't really satisfy the Old Trafford regulars. Fourth from bottom come May would probably have Palace folk parting in the South London streets. Spread wide for Giggs. Dabbed in again by Keane. Smith held it up for Rooney, and it came back to Fletcher, who lashed it over. And Fletcher is still to score his first goal for Manchester United in the 50 games he's now played. First touch off Granville, and Giggs has come over from left to right to impart in-swing. It's Giggs' delivery, and it is a comfortable take for the Hungarian keeper, who's in a hurry to get on with things too. Routledge battling for it and winning a throw. Fortune for Scholes again. Scholes for Rooney, his sort of range. Thought better of it. Keane dabs it in. Smith overhead. And Scholes tumbling to effect a volley, which the goalkeeper clutched okay.
You see it, the ball, difficult ball in for Paul Scholes to deal with. It's bouncing.
Fortune. Better out by Fitzhall. Mikhail Silvestre. Languid run from Smith, who's got it back. And it could come for Fletcher, who's gone over and has got a penalty. Steve Dunn is not for turning. Danny Granville is not impressed. His suggestion to Fletcher is that the Scot played for it.
Well, initially Emerson Boyce pushes the ball across. Here we see Fletcher. For me, he just tumbles. Granville puts a foot out. But unfortunately, from the referee's point of view, if you don't touch that ball...
The last thing that Crystal Palace needed inside the first 10 minutes at Old Trafford was to see this young fella with 12 yards between him and goal. It is Wayne Rooney for Manchester United. It's a fine save, a really good stop by the Hungarian, plunging to his right. It is a headline moment in his life, and it is a let-off for Crystal Palace.
Well, it is, and for me, justice was done. Wayne Rooney, hard and low to the keeper's right. The Curie read that one really well. Not a badly struck penalty, not quite in the corner. That gave enough time for the keeper to get across, and that was a good stop. I think what you're seeing certainly is a lot of possession, aren't you, from Manchester United, but Crystal Palace won't be too bothered. I think they know when they come to places like this.
Here's Giggs. Oh, he's away from Boyce. And he's prepared to take on the fullback again. And he's done him again. And Giggs has delivered and Fletcher's coming in. Well, that was Giggs of 10 or 15 years ago. Twinkle-toed teenager having fun.
Well, he was determined to turn Emerson Boyce inside and out. Comes onto his right foot. No, I'll come back around the outside, and then eventually, excellent right foot cross. Fletcher didn't quite read that one. Maybe if he gambled a little earlier, he could have been in at the far post.
Well, there are times when Ryan Giggs still makes himself as watchable as any individual. He did something similar then, packed to midfield and got a job done, and even managed to score a goal that day, having fallen behind. So Alex may not be so willing to dish out the compliments if a similar job is done on his side. Keane, clever ball, chance now, 1-0 Manchester United, Paul Scholes. And to say it's been coming is perhaps to understate. Manchester United's greed for possession.
Cool, calm and collected, and you're right. Great goal-scoring form. It's a wonderful ball through, steps inside, and what a finish with his right foot. Keeper, absolutely no chance. It was coming. You just thought Crystal Palace may have weathered the storm.
That is 5 in his last 6 games for Paul Scholes.
The 25 minutes gone now. No really time for panic for Crystal Palace. No point putting another striker on and trying to get this goal back. There's plenty of time in the game left. Still keep it nice and tight.
Randall's free kick. Routledge playing it in. Sorondo's header hit his own man and then lifted back into the net by Danny Granville, and Palace, out of the blue, have an equaliser at the Stretford end.
Well, Wayne Routledge, we said before, set pieces, I think, could be their way to get a goal. Well, I didn't think it was going to be this quick. Danny Granville just flings out the right boot. He was the player that supposedly gave away the penalty earlier in the game. Well, he's made amends in more ways than one.
Incidentally, that goal for Palace, for Danny Granville, came just after they'd passed the 4-hour mark since their last Premier League goal. So there's a lot of relief in there. And from the other point of view, for Manchester United, it had been comfortably more than 7 hours of playing time since they had last conceded a goal in the Premier League on their own ground. Manchester United's defence has been breached, and it looks as though he's going to have to go off for more than treatment. John O'Shea's going to replace him.
Well, we saw a shot of him with his hands on his face, dismayed. I thought it was because Crystal Palace actually scored, but no, he's actually pulled his hamstring by the looks of things, and having to come straight off, and John O'Shea is coming on.
Scholes. On by Keane. Now for the first time in an offensive sense, John O'Shea. Keane. Decent drive, very good save. Very good save, had a lot of ground to make, the goalkeeper there. And having kept out a penalty from 12 yards, he's kept out something fairly stinging from 20 here.
It really was an excellent save. His left hand just did enough. That's the problem when Crystal Palace do sit deep. The shot is on from 20 yards, and Roy Keane took up the offer.
Manchester United's 5th corner, Giggs with it. Away as far as Scholes, you know what's coming, Paul Scholes! Another fine save by the Hungarian Kirai.
And once again, a wonderful strike. Comes to Scholes' right boot. You know it's going to be a good strike. Michael Hughes is there on the line, everyone else had pushed out. Thankfully his keeper came to the rescue.
Scholes cross, 2-1. Alan Smith for Manchester United. The lead is re-established. The Hungarian keeper, but he was helpless as Smith rose to splendid effect, and Manchester United have their lead back.
Well, an absolutely sublime header. There had to be something special to beat this keeper. Well, that was special. Right in the top corner. Hughes this time, even if he jumped another foot, still wouldn't have got there.
Granville, last chance to make an impression. Heading past the 1 added minute now. Steve Dunn's had a look at his watch, and enough is enough for now for him. So Palace have all the problems. Ian Dowie told his players to offer Manchester United ultimate respect, but not to get starstruck. I think they've achieved that. They've played with an assurance and maturity which suggests they feel they belong here. Nevertheless, Tony, they didn't have a lot of the ball in the first half, and they've got to find a way to score a goal again.
That's exactly right. They need to bounce back very quickly. There's no way they are awestruck. They really have put themselves about, and they've tried their best, but of course you are playing against a very good Manchester United side who do keep possession of the ball very well.
There's Routledge, got there before O'Shea, and then Hughes with the cross. It's 2-2! Inside 45 seconds at the start of the second half.
Absolutely fantastic, and here we see ball come out to the right hand side. Routledge just plucks it out of the air. A lovely little flick to Yunus Kolka. What a beautiful clip in, from Michael Hughes. It's Kolka on the end of it. But what a response this is. Ian Dowie no doubt said his side that they're still in this. A good start. Well, they've got a good start. And Kolka has put it to the left hand side of Carroll. Carroll, absolutely no chance. And Palace are back in this game.
He picks his places, that chap, as well. Yunus Kolka has scored 2 goals in English football. one at Anfield and one at Old Trafford. And he has now scored 50 league goals across Europe over the course of his career, the Finn. That is one that I'm sure he will remember with great fondness. And it's stung Old Trafford again. They just will not be beaten, Palace. Not until the final whistle is blown. And Manchester United have to do it for a third time. And Scholes has played it through, and Rooney's onside, and Kirai has pulled off another top-class save of a different type to the previous ones, but equally important. He's lost it this time, and it's dropped in. And Paul Scholes, as Manchester United noses back in front, and the Hungarian, having been a hero, may find that questions are asked of his movement off the line here. We'll see. Paul Scholes is the scorer.
Well, there Rooney slips, goes through, and you're right, Kirai makes an excellent save down low with his right boot, but as the ball comes back in, got to be keeper's ball. Instead, it's an awful mistake. Should really punch this one. It actually comes off
goal.
Boyce. Emerson Boyce and Alex Ferguson puffs the cheeks and thinks, right, now we're back in front again. Can we put this game to bed? Well, this is Crystal Palace, and they will not give up.
Emerson Boyce has never scored a goal for Crystal Palace. He's just got one against them. The last goal he scored was for Luton against Bristol City in April in front of 6,000 people. 10 times as many have seen him putting Dowie's side behind again. And he must wonder what to think. So proud of so much that they're doing, but they're in trouble again here. They're 4-2 behind, and that unquestionably is a goal that belongs to Scholes.
Well, I think we can safely say you're quite right. Paul Scholes has scored that one. All of a sudden, Crystal Palace got themselves back in the game. Now they've had a mad 60 seconds, and they've conceded 2 goals, and wonderful feat from Scholes. Look at this, first touch with the right, finish with the left.
It is a football match which is verging on the ridiculous. It is certainly a start to the second half, which makes you want to pinch yourself and say, is this really happening? Paul Scholes has a couple. He's got a new young fan. When they come to reflect on this game, Palace may deem Yunus Kolka's goal in the opening seconds of the second half one very bad tactical error.
You're quite right, and it's interesting. I've played in many games and gone to places where you know you're going to be up against it. Well, you score nice and early, well, you end up losing 4-1 or 5-1, and unfortunately in the second half Crystal Palace have done exactly that.
Giggs running for fun. Ryan Giggs! Oh! Kirai threw out an arm. It was an unconventional save, but it worked.
Well, it doesn't matter how you say them, as long as you do. And here, well, it's like the old Ryan Giggs. Come inside Emerson Boyce, and he's off. There's no catching him. Takes it to his favoured left foot. Excellent strike, and a bit of an elbow save from Kirai, as you see it.
Routledge. Johnson. That's a nice idea, and Routledge has kept it going. O'Shea has held him up. O'Shea's a big strapping lad though from Ireland, but he stood his ground, and now the little Welsh wizard is off in twinkle toes fashion again. Ryan Giggs, catch me if you can. Ryan Giggs, oh! Straight at the goalkeeper. He has a right boot too, you know.
There's no doubt that Ryan Giggs would love to end his career here at Manchester United. And this performance says it all. He really is a valuable player to Manchester United.
Keane. Dabbed in again for Keane. And Keane across goal. And Boyce out almost from under the crossbar.
Well, thankfully this time, Emerson Boyce cleared it to safety, not his own net. Roy Keane wants to get on that score sheet.
Scholes. Not enough space out of which to dispatch a meaningful shot. Fitzhall did his job well. It is becoming one of those games at the end of which... Oh, here comes Keane. And out by Kirai again unconventionally, and back in by Fletcher. Granville. Half an hour for Crystal Palace to climb a mountain here. you know about them is that they will give it a go. Granville's ball in. Johnson onside. And Johnson's cross. And it's come out to Routledge. And Carroll did have to make a good smothering save there, and he was aided by Rio Ferdinand in smuggling it away. First time the Manchester United goalkeeper has muddied his knees in anger today, and here come Manchester United off the back of his save with Paul Scholes in search of a hat-trick, and Darren Fletcher, and Sorondo nudged it behind for a corner. Very good save by the Irishman.
Well, it really was an excellent save. And then we see Andy Johnson getting the left channel. It's a good clip to the far post. Riolati strikes it. Here, Carroll, strong right hand. Fortunately, it went to Rio Ferdinand. Crystal Palace ain't done yet.
What it would have done for the game if Routledge had scored then. Nevertheless, it's given them reason to believe. Scholes in front of the amateur photographers. Keane's up and over. Keane. Smith. Scholes. Keane. Fletcher. Ferdinand. Rooney. Rooney! That's another fabulous save.
Karai again, this time low down to his right-hand side. Wayne Rooney certainly wants to make up for that penalty miss. He wants to get on the score sheet. Comes inside his left foot. It's an excellent strike. But there's the flying Hungarian again.
Smith. Scholes. Keane. Really do sense he fancies a goal. Smith, who's got one. Scholes, who's got two. Keane. Rooney. Oh! What about it? Lovely stuff, just wide.
Well, that would have capped off what's been a fantastic game. It's Wayne Rooney on the right-hand side, a beautiful clipped cross, going for the spectacular. Well, we talked about the challenge of Emerson Boyce against Wayne Giggs. Well, Boyce certainly has come off second best, but he'll learn a lot from this encounter. Wayne Giggs really has been rejuvenated, had an excellent game.
Scholes. Something to ice the cake with, perhaps, for Manchester United. Keane. Giggs. O'Shea! Well, don't you just love it? He does. Manchester United have 5. And John O'Shea has his first goal for a year. Not the prettiest, but you won't find him complaining. What a lovely feed from Giggs here.
It certainly was. It had to be Ryan Giggs. He's just clipped it in. Unfortunately, Fitzhall just stands still. And there, up from left back, John O'Shea swings the left boot. And it ends up going in between the legs of Kurai.
Well, football's meant to be fun, and that was fun. It was a performance from Manchester United somewhere close to vintage, and his goalkeeper gave one of those performances that occur once in a blue moon, with several brilliant saves, including one from Rooney's penalty kick. Giggs, just brilliant, and it finished at Old Trafford. Manchester United 5, Crystal Palace 2.